this I think dates back to 6th century, early 5th or 6th century, the time of Mayura Sharma, Mayura Varma.
Okay.
So this is a historical document which talks about a yaga that he did in 6th or 7th century, and for him to do that, he wanted, for the Ashwamedha Yajna, he wanted really learned priests and families that could take care of his dynasty, of his kingdom.
Okay.
And bring
Mayura
Varma.
Okay.
So
this is of the Mayura dynasty, or which
Kadambas.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So Mayura, when he wanted to do this yajna, so he invited 64 families from Kashmir.
Okay.
Which is till date called 64 Vokkalu in Kannada.
Okay.
So 64 families were invited to the southern part, and Mayura actually ruled a larger portion of our country, and unfortunately 4 families couldn't survive the journey.
Okay.
So 60 families reached the destination, and each family was given a different job title.
Okay.
By the king, and one such family is of Purandara Dasaru. One such family is of Guru Raghavendra Swamigalu.
Oh.
So Biga Mudra, Suvarna Bandar, Maidala. There are many other families like that, and every family had their own responsibilities to take care of. So
you're saying Purandara Dasaru he came from Kashmir.
Yeah, the roots are from Kashmir. This is what one of the text talks about.
Nice.
Okay. So and it flourished. I mean, that kingdom flourished, and the same families then migrated to Vijayanagar Empire.
Okay.
They were all very closely associated with Krishnadevaraya and Vyasatirtha. There were 2 different segments. One was Vyasa and the other one was Dasa. So these families, they built empires. These families helped in building empires because these were the IAS officers.
Okay, that time.
Back then, yeah. They were the Mantri Jana and IAS officers who advised the king. They were the counselors. So they built the empire, and then later on the flourishing actually happened during the times of Vijayanagar Empire.
So King Mayura was at which location?
This entire thing.
No,
Deccan.
You said these dasas then went into Vijayanagar is what you said.
So Hampi, this time.
They settled in Vijayanagar.
They settled in Vijayanagar during the 13th, 14th century, 15th century.
Okay.
And Vyasatirtha, who was the protagonist, he's the reason why we should be grateful to him, because it is because of him that we have Karnataka Shastriya Sangeeta, Carnatic music. It is because of him that we have our traditions still alive. It is because of him that we have all our ancestral works intact. So Guru Vyasatirtha was the Rajaguru for 6 emperors, and Krishnadevaraya also was his disciple.
Wow.
And he started 2 segments, Vyasa and Dasa. So Vyasa were the ones who was everyone was celebrated, everyone was learned scholars, but Vyasa cult had Swamijis, sannyasis. For example, Vadiraja Tirtha, who's in Sonda Mata. Even today we go and worship. There is a Vrindavan of Vadirajaru.
Okay.
So Vadiraja was a disciple of Vyasatirtha. So he was in the Vyasa segment. And Dasa segment had Purandara Dasaru, Kanaka Dasaru, and Achyuta Dasaru, Vaikuntha Dasaru, and many other Dasaru.
Why did he create this sort of tool?
Because Vyasas, their responsibility was to stick on to our ancestral works, work on Shastras, create works, Bhashya, commentaries in Sanskrit.
Okay.
Dasas, their responsibility was to simplify the same in Kannada language.
Okay.
So the same thing, what they were working on Brahma Sutras, they were working on Upanishads, they were working on many other works. The same works were set in Sarala Kannada, very, very simple Kannada. So that was the job given by Vyasatirtha.
Okay.
So the leading man there was Purandara Dasaru, and also we had Kanaka Dasaru, an amazing intellectual scholar.
Yeah.
So, and also a Drashtara, he was also an Anubhavi who was realized. So Purandara Dasaru belonged to a family which was very, very rich. It is mentioned in our history that Purandara Dasaru had actually given loan to Krishnadevaraya.
Wow.
imagine a person giving loan to the Reserve Bank of India.
Right.
So this had happened in our system, in our culture, in our history. So he was extremely, extremely rich. I think in 2002, one of our scholars, Dr. Arulmalage Parsarthi, he had been to the Middle East, and there when he was having conversation with the Sheikh, he made a mention of Purandara Dasaru, how rich he was. So he was called Navakoti Narayana, Purandara Dasaru. So that was converted in 2002. I don't know the actual figure now, but in 2002 it was 25,92,922 zillion US dollars, which is 114088554020549 followed by 24 zeros.
Wow.
Okay, so that was the wealth which was converted in 2002.
That is one person's wealth.
That was Purandara Dasaru's wealth.
Imagine how many people, how many more people like this had existed in that era.
Yeah, totally. And imagine just giving up on everything he had one overnight to become a dasa. He surely saw something that was more valuable in this.
Wow. Oh, he gave up all of this?
Yeah, he gave up everything. One overnight.
Okay.
Because of one episode that happened in his life.
What was that episode?
So there was this Brahmin who visited Purandara Dasaru with his child. Garbhashtameshu Brahmanam Upanayanitam. So Upanayana has to happen in Garbhashtama, 7.5 years of age. So, and Upanayana is a very, very essential samskara. Upanayana, as in going towards closer to the knowledge system. That is the meaning of it. And it is again not caste based.
Yeah.
So, so he goes to Purandara Dasaru. He says, this is my son and I am planning to do his Upanayana. I need money for it. So he lends some money which was denotified. So, and
unsecured
loan and demonetized currency, and he gives that. And then you can add more flavors to it to make it more humorous. But somehow, he says, if you give me something that you have, I can lend you money. So this man, this Brahmin, he lends him a no-spin, Muguti. This Purandara Dasaru was an amazing goldsmith. He was very, very apt and very, 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 very good at his subject. So he was very skillful. The moment he sees that no-spin, he realizes that this no-spin belongs to his wife.
Oh.
So Saraswati Bai and Gautami also was her name. So he asks the Brahmin and also his son to be seated. He goes back to his house and he sees that his wife is not wearing the nose-pin. So he asks her, get your nose-pin, I need to see that. I need it for a reason. And she cannot lie. So she says, it's inside, I've kept it somewhere, I don't know. Then he says, I need it now. Then unable to bear the embarrassment, unable to face her husband, she goes to the puja room and she weeps and she pours poison into a bowl and she drinks poison. But for her astonishment, she finds the same nose-pin in the bowl. This is the story.
Okay.
So she gets before drinking the poison, she feels
gets
it.
that.
Yeah. So she goes to Purandara Dasaru. She says, see, here you go. This is the nose-pin you were asking for. So he takes the nose-pin and he's confused now. So he goes back. He goes back to the shop and he finds that the Brahmin is not there. And he opens his locker to see if the nose-pin is there. The nose-pin is also lost.
Okay.
This nose-pin that he has in his hand was given to him by his wife.
Yeah.
So, Yatta Podanamma, Viprana Yalli Hudukalamma, Muttina Brahmana, Muttina Muguti, Yatta Podanamma, he writes. Purandara Dasaru. Where did he go? So he, without wearing his footwear, he runs in every street of his city, looking for this man who came from nowhere and he just left. He just disappeared.
Yeah.
And he sees that this Brahmin is walking towards the temple. So he runs behind him, and the moment he enters the temple, that man is again missing.
Okay.
So Purandara Dasaru, also we hear that he had a swapna darshana also, where Lord Venkateshwara himself came as this Brahman. Yeah, in the disguise of a Brahman. So that is when he realizes, and that is when he writes, Indina dinave shubha dinavo, indina vara shubha vara, Indu Purandara Vittalana, this song, which is very, very popular. So he writes, so he says, this is the day I'm going to give up on all the arrogance, all the possessions, all the assets that I have. I'm going to become a Haridasa.
Okay.
I'm going to lead a life begging alms.
Okay.
So that is when he becomes Purandara Dasa from Nayaka. He was called Nayaka. From Purandara Nayaka, he becomes Purandara Dasa. Senappa Nayaka, Srinivasa was his name. So, and imagine, after becoming Purandara Dasa, he writes 4,75,000 songs. And he's called the father of Carnatic music because he started the, we also have Venkatamukhi ji who did the Melakarta system, but from Maya Malagala, which is the 15 Melakarta raga, and starting Sarale Varse and the chain of swaras, which we call Alankara in Hindustani system. So he created this, he created the Gitas, Gita, Shri Gananatha and Kariya Niranu Kariga Challi, and many other such wonderful works that he has created. But unfortunately, after the fall of Vijayanagar Empire, everything was destroyed, everything was burnt, and Purandara Dasa's kritis were also burnt. So it is a sad thing that people say, scholars opine that we have only 2,000 songs of Purandara Dasaru. He had composed 4,75,000 songs, which he has only written in one of his works. This is my 4,75th song.
Oh, he has mentioned that.
4,75,000 song is this.
Wow.